For Filipinos, ang sarap sa pakiramdam pag busog. 3 tasa ng kanin, may dessert after, tapos sa hapon, syempre may merienda pa. Pero may tanong tayo ngayon. Busog ka, oo. Pero, nourish ka ba? Yan ang katanungan ng episode na ito kasi sa Pilipinas, kanin culture is real. Food is love and a full plate means you're taken care of. But full and fed are not the same thing. And the gap between those two, yun yung silent reason kung bakit maraming Pilipino ang pagod pa rin kahit kumain na. Madaling magkasakit o ang baba rin ng energy buong araw. Hidden nutrition gaps. Hindi mo nakikita sa timbangan, hindi mo rin nakikita sa salamin. That's why it's important to consult your doctor, dietitian, and healthcare professionals because they are trained to see these gaps and deficiencies for you. This Nutrition Month, let's break down the myths Filipinos actually believe about food. Separate fact from sabi-sabi and figure out kailan ba dapat makipag-usap sa doctor. Let's get into it. Before we bring in our doctor guests, let's lay out the myths. These are pulled from actual conversations sa social media and sa ating now serving community. Okay, myth number 1. Basta busog, malusog. Classic. Kapag may kanin, may ulam, tapos po na ang tiyan, kala naman natin okay na, tama na. Number 2. Bawal ang kanin kapag gusto mong pumayat. Guilty rin ako dito. Sobrang laganap. Myth number 3. Pwede ako kumain ng kahit ano, basta uminom ako ng vitamins. This one's everywhere sa socials. Multivitamins, collagen, immune booster, glutathione. Parang one-stop shop ang kalusugan talaga siya, no? Pero meron din tayong myth number 4, and this is a sneaky one. Kapag nag-skip ako ng meal, papayat ako. Diet hack daw. Mukhang logical naman kasi kung iisipin, 'di ba, mas konting kain. So, technically, isipin natin mas konting calories. Pero, hindi yan ang sinasabi ng siyensya. So, let's bring in someone who is actually trained for this topic. Miss Patricia De Los Santos is a registered dietitian who focuses on nutrition counseling for patients with PMOS, diabetes mellitus, and eating disorders. She is a member of NDAP, or Nutritionist Dietitians Association of the Philippines, and certified in nutrition epidemiology. She is a graduate of BS Nutrition and Dietetics from the University of Santo Tomas. Hi, Miss Patricia! Kumusta po? Thank you for joining us today. So, you've heard about the myths I've said naman earlier. So, discuss din natin siya one by one. So, yung una muna, busog equals nourish. Totoo po ba yun?
Hi, I'm excited to be here. So, for calories and nutrients, these are two different things. A full stomach can still mean kulang sa iron, protein, vitamins, fiber, minerals, or healthy fats. So, ang latest, according sa DOST-FNRI na nutrition survey, is that it shows na ang Filipino vegetable consumption very critically low. So that means kapag kulang sa household level, yung vegetable diet sa household setting pa lang, no, it can lead to increased prevalence of malnutrition and risk factors for NCDs tulad ng heart disease, diabetes, cancer, etc. So kapag kulang or wala talaga mga dark leafy vegetables natin tulad ng malunggay, kangkong, spinach sa diet, it can lead to anemia since good or high source of iron ang mga vegetables. Ang Filipino diet pattern kasi ay heavy tayo sa carbs at sodium, kulang sa gulay, sa prutas at quality protein. This is why ang daming mga Pilipino na mabilis mapagod or low ang energy kahit kakakain lang. The body's running on fumes for the nutrient it actually needs.
Grabe, Miss Pat, gets ko na. Kaya pala kahit ako, pag kumakain ako ng tanghalian, 3 p.m. pa lang, parang pagod na ako. Tapos, syempre, ang aking solusyon doon ay bibili ako ng kape, magtitimpla ako ng kape, kasi iniisip ko, baka kulang lang ako sa kape. Pero, turns out, baka hindi naman pala kape yung kailangan ko talaga. Kailangan ko lang siguro ng nutrients sa katawan ko. Okay, myth 1 busted. Number 2, Miss Pat. Bawal ang kanin pag gusto mong pumayat.
This is an interesting topic since na-demonize ang rice, especially on social media. And as you mentioned kanina, kanin culture is real. And I really agree with that. As Filipinos, we grew up eating rice for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And rice gives glucose, the brain's preferred fuel. So tanggalin mo bigla, bagsak ang energy at focus. Removing rice in your diet is not a long-term solution. Hindi sustainable. If ang diet mo for weight loss ay ay ang hindi usual mong food or very restricting for you, definitely magre-relapse ka. For example, ang starting weight mo ay around 75 kilograms and nag-lose ka ng 15 kilograms because tinanggal mo ang kanin for a month with your restricting diet. And then, once kumain ka after a month ng rice ulit, it will come back double or triple than your original weight dahil nag-crash diet ka. So what I advise is assess first and ask help from your doctor or dietitian kung yung kanin ba talaga ang culprit ng pagtaba mo. Tingnan muna natin ang overall diet bago mag-decide na bawasan or tanggalin ang kanin para sa pagpapayat. Kasi baka naman magtanggal ka talaga ng kanin on your own pero bumawi ka naman sa other carbohydrate food sources tulad ng bread, pasta, or donut or ice cream and more. And then, hirap ka pa din mag-lose weight. We can start with portion control. So, kung dati 2 or 3 cups ang rice mo per meal, maybe we can start to lessen it into 1 cup per meal and additional serving of high fiber rich foods like a vegetable dish on the side or a fruit as a dessert after meal. Ang fiber kasi nakakatulong makapagpabusog. So if you eat 1 cup of rice and then you add 1/2 cup or 1 cup of vegetable dish on the side, no? Instead of restricting or cutting out an entire food group in your diet, mas sustainable yon without compromising your nutrients. Again, hindi kanin ang kalaban. Sobrang dami at hindi balance ang kinakain, yun ang kalaban. Better question, ano kasama ng kanin? Gulay ba? Protein ba? Or puro sabaw lang or sarsa? Portion control plus protein plus fiber is the actual move. Not bun the rice. Brown rice is great pero hindi automatic na kahit dami, same calories pa din.
I like that. So feeling ko, Miss Pat, ang pinaka-Filipino-friendly advice dyan is to really fix the plate, not erase the kanin. Kasi carbs are not the enemy. We love them.
Yes, I agree. And reference natin yung Pinggang Pinoy ni DOST-FNRI na merong vegetable, merong fruit, and then merong rice meal and the ulam itself.
I agree, Miss Pat. So talagang wag mag-quit. Ayusin lang natin ang setup and sumunod sa ating mga proper guidelines. Okay, myth number 3, Miss Pat. Vitamins instead of food.
So, kung may deficiency, for example, deficient ka sa iron, it can lead to anemia, then you may experience fatigue or mabilis ka hingalin. On the other side of that, meron naman tayong tinatawag na toxicity. Kapag lumalagpas ka na sa recommended or more than limit, ang intake mo, it can have a bad effect on your body as well. With vitamin A, ang recommended according from the OST-FNRI for ages 19 to 29 years old is 700 microgram for male and 600 microgram for female. And ang tolerable upper limit per day is until 3,000 microgram. So, if adequate naman ang vitamin A that you get from food and add supplements on top of that, and you've been consistent to that habit for 3 months or more, it can lead to vitamin A toxicity. And you may experience vomiting or pagkahilo or worst scenario, blurry vision. Yung goal natin sa umpisa ay parang luminaw yung mata natin. Kaya tayo nag-take ng vitamin A supplement. Mas naging delikado pa instead na makatulong.
Grabe, may ganun din pala talaga. And I agree on that, Miss Pat. Kasi minsan nalilimutan natin na nagkakaroon na talaga ng blur sa line between nutrient and supplements. So, take note nyo na lang guys yung vitamin toxicity.
And I really advocate na as much as possible, i-reach natin ang vitamins and minerals through whole foods. Supplements are supplements. Ang ibig sabihin nun, pangdagdag, hindi pangpalit. Real food has fiber, water, phytonutrients, and synergy ng nutrients na hindi marereplicate ng tablet. Kaya, supplement ang tawag. It means pangdagdag, hindi pangpalit sa pagkain mismo. Some supplements pa nga can hurt if oversold or unprescribed. So, if you're considering to buy supplements, make sure na FDA approved kung gusto mo talaga mag-supplement. pakonsulta muna, hindi based sa influencer.
Buti Miss Pat nasabi mo yan kasi meron talagang mga nakita ko din no na napanood lang nila sa social media platforms na nakakatulong kaya ganyan ganito sa health niya. So
Yes.
iti-take na nila yun without consulting. And honest question, Miss Pat, you mentioned na better if ma-reach natin yung vitamins through whole foods. So marami pa rin sa atin, marami pa rin yung tinitake na vitamins and supplements daily. Worth it pa ba yun i-take, Miss Pat?
As long as recommended siya ng doktor mo and as long as hindi mo na reach through food, kaya nag-supplement ka. Pero kung na-reach mo naman through diet alone, through whole foods, I don't think it's necessary to buy an additional supplement. Kasi sometimes, ang supplements natin, very costly siya. And yung kidneys kasi, may tulad ng mga creatine, no? Kapag too much na yung protein, na nakuha natin from food alone and then you add creatinine for people na nag-workout, no? Then, ang nangyayari sa kidneys natin na overwork siya and nagpa-pass through lang siya through urine. And usually, di ba, nakikita natin na masyadong mahal yung mga creatinine supplements, mga protein powder. So, imagine na we-waste lang yun sa katawan natin. Hindi talaga natin na-utilize as much as possible na in a way na gusto natin ma-absorb talaga ng katawan. So, sometimes it could be a waste of money.
I agree on that, Miss Pat. Kaya mahalaga din talaga na kumonsulta muna tayo sa doktor para alam din natin kung ano ang next na step natin. Okay, myth number 4, Miss Pat. Skipping meals to lose weight.
Mm-mm. Very interesting topic as well. So, one
Actually.
meal a day or simple skipping breakfast or lunch will not help us lose weight. Rather, it often backfires. Ang nangyayari kasi, dahil nagutom ka from skipping one meal, the next meal mapapadami ang kanin mo. Or even like yung food intake talaga ng plate, hindi lang kanin. So, you end up binge eating. Your blood sugar spikes, then crashes. Sustainable weight management is about pattern, not punishment. What we can do is observe small frequent feeding instead of eating heavy lunch or heavy dinner. Let's try to eat something small but quality yung meals. Preferably 3 hours interval. So if kumain ka ng 6 a.m. for breakfast and papasok ka ng school or work mo ng 7 a.m., then a small snack like a.m. snack around 9 a.m., then lunch ng 12 p.m. and so on. So this technique ng small frequent feeding, it helps with keeping us full since hindi tayo gutom na gutom, which reduces yung temptation to binge eat. And hindi lang siya for weight loss actually applicable. Applicable rin siya for someone who has diabetes, since it helps stabilize yung blood sugar levels nila. Mas hindi mo na i-experience yung post-meal slump. Na-experience mo na ba to, ma'am? Yung after a meal, pagod ka?
Sobra po, especially kapag heavy day talaga. Parang gusto ko na lang mag-shutdown.
Yes. The reason kapag na-experience mo yung mga ganyan is that you feel sluggish or yung tinatawag nating food coma. That's because your blood sugar spikes followed by energy crash. Again, sustainable weight management is about pattern. Any structured eating plan, like time-restricted eating, should have proper guidance from a doctor. Hindi pang everyone. For Filipinos with active jobs or long commutes, skipping is a recipe for ulcer, headaches, irritability, and low immunity. If hindi natin na-address yung mga dietary habits that contributes to us gaining more weight, then skipping a meal feels like a band-aid solution. Let's fix your relationship with food first.
Grabe, parang may hugot yun, Miss Pat. Naramdaman ko yun. But yeah, tama nga po yun, pattern over punishment. Kasi minsan, iniisip natin, ay, hindi na lang ako kakain para feeling ko
Yes.
naman, ang healthy ko, ang payat ko. When in fact, lalo lang tayong nagiging unhealthy sa mga desisyon na nangyayari sa atin. So, may one quick question lang po ako bago tayo lumipat, Miss Pat. Ano yung pinaka-misunderstood na concept sa nutrition na nakikita mo sa clinic?
Usually nakikita ko na thin equals healthy, lalo na kahit outside my clinic. Once you go on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you see young girls or even women in general comment on a thin ideal body type post. about what's your secret diet, body goals, right? It's the way our brain is tailored to think because of social media that this specific thinness of body is the right body and it is equal to being healthy. But that's not necessarily the whole picture. I remember before when I was in high school, before I even took up BS Nutrition and Dietetics as a course, syempre as a teen, you equate yourself, your self-worth somehow with how you are accepted with your peers or in society in general. So you do whatever you need to do to fit in with the beauty standard. And it took me a while to unlearn that fat does not equate ugly. And I learned that from my younger sister. And it's true. Also, we have a higher percentage of body fat compared to men, lalo na sa belly area or even hips and thighs. Since us women, we are childbearing kind of body type, no? So basically, as women, we are built differently from men.
I like that, Miss Pat. Ang ganda lang din talaga ng mga sinabi mo. Kasi ako, feeling ko lang, naniniwala talaga ako na in order na maging fully healthy ka talaga is to learn how to love your body as well.
Yes.
Curious lang ako, Miss Pat, paano ba malalaman ng mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon na may hidden nutrition gap sila? Ano ba yung madalas na sinasabi or pinapakita ng katawan natin?
Here are the symptoms that we can look out for. Pagod kahit kakagising lang, persistent fatigue, pwedeng iron deficiency, or possibly anemia. Madaling magkasakit, frequent infections, pwedeng kulang sa vitamin C, D, or zinc. Buhok na nalalagas, mabilis mabasag ang kuko, pwedeng protein or biotin issue. Maputlang labi or kuko, common sign yan of anemia. Mood swings, irritable, hindi makapag-focus, blood sugar instability or B vitamin deficiency. Constipation or pabago-bagong digestion, fiber and water issues. So, ilan lang yan sa mga symptoms of nutrient deficiency.
Miss Pat, yung pagod kahit kagigising lang, marami naman siguro nakakaramdam dun sa atin. Tapos akala ko, ang relatable kasi ng pagkakasabi mo, Miss Pat, akala ko din before, stress o kaya konting tulog. Minsan sinasabi pa nga ng mga magulang natin, pag sobra-sobra daw sa tulog, pagising mo, mas pagod ka pa ulit. Pero if you look at it, baka mas malalim pala. Siyempre, yung mood swings din. Yung nakatatlong kape ka na, nakapag-milk tea ka na, matcha, pero ang init pa rin talaga ng ulo mo. Tapos hindi mo ma-figure out, ano bang mali sa akin? Yung pala sugar crash, hindi yung traffic at yung stress.
So usually, yung sugar crash na nangyayari, no, it also can contribute kapag nag-skip ka rin ng meals. And then yung sa pagod, kahit feeling mo 8 hours na yung sleep mo, another sign yan na or symptoms ng PMOS. So usually may mga patients ako na when I ask naman about their lifestyle, kung kamusta yung quality of sleep mo, parang pagod pa rin sila kahit enough yung hours na ng sleep nila. So, may mga factors din to consider with diagnosing if PMOS si patient or more on like sa diet talaga siya.
So Miss Pat, kailan ba dapat yung hindi pwede sabihin na, ay basta kakain ako ng healthy bukas? When does it cross from kayang i-fix sa bahay to kailangan na talaga ng doktor?
Symptoms na tuloy-tuloy for 2 weeks or more, unexplained weight loss or even weight gain. And then, family history of diabetes, hypertension, or heart disease. Plus, yung mga symptoms that we discussed earlier. Pregnant, breastfeeding, recovering from illness, or even mga adults that are age 40 years old and above. Mas mataas ang nutrient needs nila. Anyone managing a chronic condition, don't do it yourself sa diet. Kaya meron mga doctors or may mga dietitian, you can always ask them for dietary advice.
Exactly. Hindi natin kailangan i-overthink yung mga ganitong bagay. Kapag nararamdaman mo na there's something off for too long, that's the signal. That's your body talking to you. And signal na yan na umuusap ng doctor, not to Google. And kung saglit mo lang naisip, sino ba talaga ang kakausapin ko para dito? Sa Now Serving, may ilang specialty na fit para sa nutrition concerns. So, number one, nutritionist dietitian. Pag gusto mo ng personalized meal plan, may specific goal ka tulad ng weight, diabetes management, or postpartum recovery, they build the plan around your lifestyle, hindi around the textbook. Amazing. Number two, family medicine or internal medicine doctor. Pang baseline checkup. Blood work, ano ang nutrient levels mo, ganyan, anong mga risks. Magandang starting point kapag wala ka pa namang specific symptoms pero gusto mo lang malaman kung ano ba talaga ang sitwasyon mo. Number three, endocrinologist. Pag may diabetes, thyroid issues, or hormonal concerns sa pamilya, ito yung specialist na mas malalim ang lente. At alam nyo, madali lang mag-book. Pumunta ka lang sa Now Serving site or app, search by specialty or sa symptom mo, makikita mo na agad doon yung available doctors with their schedules. Pwedeng online consult or pwede ring in person, ikaw bahala. Depende sa preference mo. May presyo na nakalagay, wala ring surprises, walang habol, no mixed signals at all. And before mo i-book, ito yung mga tanong sa sarili para mas handa rin tayo. So, ano yung main symptom o concern mo? Gaano katagal na? Anong meds o supplements ang kinukuha right now? And of course, ang ating family history. Bring those answers and the consultation becomes quick and purposeful agad thanks to Now Serving. Okay, before we go, isang recap muna tayo. Myth versus fact. Okay, myth number one, busog equals nourish. Fact, hindi. Pwedeng full ka lang pero kulang sa critical nutrients. Myth, bawal ang kanin pag gustong pumayat. Ang fact, hindi kanin ang kalaban. Balanced diet ang importante. Myth number three, vitamins instead of food. Fact, supplements are supplements, hindi pamalit. Real food first. And lastly, skipping meals para pumayat. Big no. Ang fact, often backfires and pattern over punishment. And the bottom line for Nutrition Month is that hindi mo kailangan i-overhaul lahat ngayong buwan. Pumili ka lang ng isang habit. Mag-add ng gulay sa isang meal, i-balance ang kanin with protein, or magpa-check up kung matagal ka nang may nararamdaman na off sa katawan mo. Baby steps kung tawagin. Maliit, pero tuloy-tuloy. Salamat sa pakikinig, everyone, at maraming salamat din, Miss Patricia, for joining us.
Thank you for having me and anytime Now Serving.
Kung may doktor kang kailangan, alam nyo na, search lang sa Now Serving. So sa susunod mong kain, tanungin mo ang sarili mo ha. Busog ka, oo, pero nourish ka ba? Until next time!